let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the Future You Blueprint. Think of it as a highly practical operating system for ambitious professionals, people who really want to close that agonizing gap between where they want to be tomorrow and what they're actually doing today. We're going to see exactly how you can build a future literally by practicing it right now. So let's start with a really familiar tension. I know what I want my future to look like. Why does my everyday behavior keep pulling me somewhere else? Look, we are all pretty great at creating goals, building vision boards, and making these grand plans. But then, we constantly end up battling procrastination, perfectionism, overwhelm, and honestly, fear. The Future You Blueprint is built to be the bridge across that exact gap. Now here is where things get really interesting. If you look at most traditional goal-setting apps, they completely focus on output. They just ask, what do you want to accomplish? But the Future You Blueprint flips that entirely. It asks, who are you practicing becoming? It takes your future identity and wires it directly into exactly what you do today. It's a massive paradigm shift. Which brings us to the core framework of the whole system. Become, do, have. First, become. You ask, who am I becoming? Second, do. What specific action expresses that identity today? And finally, have. What becomes possible if I repeatedly live that way? It's brilliant because it takes all that abstract, hazy future self-work and turns it into a totally grounded daily execution strategy. And to actually get you there, the app reverse engineers your massive 365-day vision into completely manageable steps. You literally break down a 12-month direction into quarterly milestones, then monthly shifts, then weekly priorities, right down to daily aligned action. It connects that distant, big-picture future directly to the very next task on your plate. Now, moving on to the should versus soul filter for navigating decisions and external pressure. To make sure those daily actions are actually authentic, you run important decisions through this specific filter. First up, you ask, is this aligned? Meaning, am I choosing this simply because it fits the exact identity I'm actively trying to build? Next, you've really got to be honest with yourself. Is this fear? Are you making this choice, or maybe avoiding a choice altogether, just because you're afraid? Then, we have to look at the outside noise. Is this external pressure? Basically, are you choosing this path just because someone else expects you to? And finally, the big one. Is this authentic? If you strip away the fear and the heavy expectations, is this decision truly yours? Asking these questions ensures your actions stay completely grounded in your true future self, rather than everyone else's agenda. Okay, so let's talk about building confidence. Instead of waiting months or years for some distant goal to finally materialize, you use the app's evidence tracker to log daily proof of your growth. You actually track things like acts of courage, boundaries you've kept, aligned decisions, completed actions, state shifts, and those crucial small wins. The entire goal of this tracker is to give you hard, undeniable proof, so you don't have to just wait around to feel confident. You can look right at the evidence and realize, wow, I am already practicing being this person right now. So, to wrap up this explainer, let's lock in this grounded, highly actionable rhythm you'll be using. It starts here. See the future. Bring it all the way into the present. Reverse engineer it. Shift your focus to your character. Practice the identity. Get out of your head. Take the action. And finally, prove to yourself that it's actually working. Save the evidence. Because at the end of the day, the future isn't just something you passively imagine. It's something you actively practice every single day. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on today. Who will you become through doing?